Hello peoples of the internet, it's Mo, and I am here today with my second update for Booktubathon reading. So, like I said last time, my first day went really well, and then I got into my second day. I knew my second day was going to be less of a reading day because I had just a lot more stuff to do, and I actually ended up only reading 30 pages on the second day of Booktubathon, all of which were in A Dreamer's Tales by Lord Dunsany, which put me like 15 pages from the end of that book, but did not get me where I needed to be for my page goal for that day. Luckily, because I had read extra the day before, I only had about 50 pages to catch up, and luckily on Wednesday I did do that catch up and some, so I was really pleased with that. So as opposed to 30 pages on Tuesday, on Wednesday I read 433 pages, which was even more than my first day, so I just feel like this is going really well and I'm ahead of schedule by like 200 pages right now, so hopefully this means I finish all 7 of my books. So Wednesday, first thing I did was finish up A Dreamer's Tales. I did really enjoy that collection. I think 1 or 2 of the stories in it I had actually read previously in other collections by Lord Dunsany, but they were worth a reread. I particularly liked the last few stories. I don't remember the names of them right now. One of them was Carcassonne, and I remember the name of that because I own the board game Carcassonne, although they're not actually related at all. But yeah, so that was one of the stories that I enjoyed in there. I may mention down with the links below which were the other ones if you guys want to look up just the individual ones instead of reading the whole collection. And then after that I picked up this book, which I had not started yet. This is Old Man's War by John Scalzi. If you're on Booktube and you watch people who read science fiction at all, you will have heard of this. But if somehow you haven't, it's about a man who on his 75th birthday goes and joins the army out in space, because that's what you do. Well, it's what you can do when you turn 75. And you don't really know anything about it, but because people are getting older and having all of these health troubles and feel like they're close to dying anyway, they feel like maybe it's worth it to go because they're assuming that they're going to sort of fix them up. And it turns out that they sort of more than just fix them up. But I enjoyed this. I thought it was definitely a good story, a very enjoyable story. I have not read a lot of military science fiction, but this seems to me like it's got to be the epitome of a military science fiction novel, and I don't know if that's just because it's the first one I've read or what, but that's kind of the way it felt. There are 4 more books, because it's a 5-book series, and I do plan on picking them up. I don't know if I will how soon that will be, but I am looking forward to continuing this. And then the last book that I read, I kind of went off plan with because I was finishing up one that I already started, which was The Great Divorce, and I mentioned in my last video that I started this one outside. But since it was my audiobook and I was doing a lot of driving yesterday, I felt like it was kind of wasted time, and so I listened to it in the car. So I'm like almost done with that book right now. I've only got like 10 minutes left of the audiobook, so I will finish that one today, but it's no longer going to work for my read the whole book outside book, so I'm gonna have to start one of my other ones outside and hopefully finish it there. So plan for today is that I'm going to finish that up, and then I will be starting 1 or 2 of these. So I'm thinking probably the Kipling is going to be my outside book. It seems like it's a sort of suitable thing to read outside, right? Because the Just So stories, I think, are mostly about animals. Anyway, I'm pretty sure the first one's about an elephant or something. So, yeah, that's the plan. Let me know how you guys are doing with your reading, if you're participating in Booktubathon, if you're not, what you're enjoying most that you're reading right now or have read recently, and I will be talking to you again soon. Happy reading, everybody.